Hello, welcome back again. So now we are gonna look at the tips and tricks of manipulating our projects using Coreldraw. So let's dive into it. I will start a new page. Since we are talking about tips and tricks of using Coreldraw, we are going to see and learn how we add a new page into this. Since I am doing a new document or a new project, I'll click on the plus sign here, a shortcut key for me to add another page, and automatically a new page have been created. Alright, so the first tips I want us to know is the tips of text tool. When I bring my mouse to the left hand side of the Coreldraw interface, you see this indicated as text tool. The text is located at the left hand side of the interface here with letter A icon. It enables the manipulator or the user to start typing. Alright, so I will type tips and I will strike enter key. Let me say shift 7 for the and symbol, and I will start typing the tricks. Then I'll go back to my pick tool. So you can't type in Coreldraw if you are not using the text tool. So with the help of the text tool, we have been able to get this particular information, and this is the first typography edit we are going to learn right now. And this is the font list, which we change our font. I'm going to go with this other font here, and I'll increase the size. This is another tricks of increasing in a size of font, or else you can also choose this particular box here. This is the point of the font size. The smaller the figure, the smaller the size of font, and the bigger the figure, the bigger the size of font. Alright, so let's leave it at 72. Now another thing is the spacing between the first text and the second text. The spacing between the first text and the second text is called the leading, and there is a way you can reduce it. When you go on the next tool known as the shape tool, the shortcut key is F10, then you can click it. You use this particular icon command here and drag it up. If you are taking it down, you are increasing and you are adding more leading, but when you take it upward, you are decreasing it. So we want it to be decreased, and I want something like this. And I go back to my pick tool, go back to my text tool again. Immediately I click on my text tool and I'm on text. That means I can this place now in between the S and the and letter, and I'll strike enter key, and I will go back to my pick tool. Under object, I will see break artistic text, which is the name of the font apart. The shortcut key is Ctrl K. So I will strike it, and voila, the text can be separated. You get it? So from here now, I'll change this font to blank script, and I'll keep it here. I'll reduce the font size of the text, and I'll take it up. These particular tricks now, I'll take it up only my control key so that it doesn't go out of the alignment. Alright, so this is it. I'll still reduce this a little bit, and I'll keep this man here. Alright, so I'll select all of them. This is how you work with your text tool. Alright, so the next of the thing we are going to look again is the types of text. Text is not just you just bring out the mouse and you just start typing. No. Now for you to know the types of text, this one we are using the immediate one that we have when we click on the icon is called the artistic text. If you leave your mouse there, it will tell you that this is add and edit paragraphic and artistic text. So these are the types of text we have. The ones we have here already is known as the artistic text. It doesn't have paragraph. For you to input or have a paragraph, you do it manually by striking your enter key before you start typing the next page. But when we are using the paragraphic text, immediately you click it, you not start typing, but you draw a box here. Alright, you draw a box. Okay, so let's go back to the text tool and draw a box here, and this one is called paragraphic text. So I will just go to my page where I was doing something, and I'm gonna copy this I'll copy this and I'll go back to my Coreldraw and I'll double click here for me to, when it was like this, the command was click here with text to add paragraphic text. So when I click on the text tool, it has gone off and I'll just paste. Alright, while pasting it, it will just, when the text get to the end of the paragraph, when there is no more space, it will break it down. And one thing you have to know is that when the line is showing red like this, then that means there's a lot of text inside it. Or you zoom in, you see this arrow that is pointing down, it's telling you that there are a lot of text inside it. Why? Because the font we use is too much or the box was not enough. We're going to drag this box down like this and take it also on the right hand side. So the line is still showing red. We can choose to reduce our font to 9 points. You can see that we don't have enough space, and we can also drag it close. And we can also choose to change the font. Let me use Montserrat font semi bold. Alright, so you can choose to delete this, also delete this. So I was on a project on my video editing, that's why I seen those notes. Sorry I bring that up. Okay, so I will still be mindful of what you are editing. You know, the other time it was okay, but now I just changed the font because of the size of the font. I need to adjust this box again to make sure I get rid of the red frame that was around it. So using paragraphic text, you make sure you always put your text on full justify to make it look on a block way and more unique. Alright, so it doesn't mean that when you are having a paragraphic text you can't change it to artistic text. Either ways, you can use this artistic text and also convert it to paragraphic text. How do you do it? Now I just drag out this text and right click on where I want it to be. That's the simple way of duplicating it. Or you try Ctrl D on your keyboard to duplicate text. Ctrl D, it asks you duplicate offset. You say okay, it will bring it upward. Alright, so that's how I did the duplicating. So now I'll right click on this text and I'll say convert to paragraphic text because it was an artistic text. You can see immediately I convert to paragraphic text, there is a frame around it. And the same thing applicable to this one. I'll click on it, I'll make sure this alignment is on none. Then I'll click on it, I'll say convert to what artistic text because it was already on paragraphic text. Alright, so this is it. These are the first tips I want you to know. Now the second one is, okay, let me bring this back. The second one is the line, the guideline from rollers. These are called the roller bar, the horizontal roller bar and the vertical roller bar. You just take your mouse in here and start dragging. You can click it anywhere, you can keep it anywhere. When you strike letter P on your keyboard, it will come to the center. So for you to enable safe alignment of this text and editing command, what you have to do is bring a roller guide. You cannot assume this thing to be the same. When this thing was on paragraphic text, we could know the border where it started. So I have to put it back. I hold my control key and shift it to the right hand side. So these are the functions of using the roller guide. It helps you to align work on horizontal and vertical part of it. You get? So I will just drag this line to here and I'll right click to duplicate it, and I'll click on this zoom panel here and I'll put to fit. Alright, and when I say to fit, I can click this full screen preview for me to see what I'm doing in a bold way without anything obstructing me. Do you get? So now the next tips we are looking at, or we are gonna work with now, is the color. Now the color is found at the right hand side of my interface. I will click any of these elements here and I will just click a color. When I right click on color, I am giving it a outline, or you call it stroke. When I right click on colors, you just make sure that that's an outline color. If I zoom in and I right click on yellow, you see that yellow is the border. When I zoom in, I right click on red, you see that red is only affecting the border of the text, which is also known as the outline. But when I left click, inside this text, now any of them, it will be showing, any of this color here will be displaying as the fill content of this text. So now let's make it in a uniform way now. Alright, so this is my text too. I don't need the outline, so I'll right click on this box for the outline to get off. And this I'll use this color that is here already. And this I'll use this navy color. I don't want this, so I'll delete this. Alright, so I'll make everything to be uniform. I'll just make sure I put this on blue, and I'll reduce the font is much. Okay, I'll use this, then I'll use the font size to 7, and I'll make sure it's on justify since we are still on paragraphic text. Okay, I'll leave the font on 9 point. Alright, so that's how you add color to text. Alright, it's not a difficult thing. You just left click to add the fill color, you right click to add the outside color. Okay, so another thing we want to work on now is the saving of your work. This is how you save your work, because Coreldraw can be so crazy at times. Anything can affect Coreldraw and it just decided to crash at any time. This is my system. As you can see, this is my saving way. Like this PC is my laptop, local Dixie, where I save work. Under this local Dixie, I have created a folder known as works, and this is my YouTube class and the ones I've done so far. Okay, so now this is how you save your work. This is my local Dixie. I'll open it, I'll locate works. This is work folder. Okay, voila. So this is the YouTube Coreldraw class. I'll open it. I'll give it a file name, which is this elevate course design, and I'll click on save. If the work is already saved on the system, then that means it will ask you, do you want to replace it? I'll say yes. Alright, so I have replaced this work, it has been saved. If anything happened to my Coreldraw now, when I fix it, I can still see my work, or I can still retrieve my work. Alright, so now for the tricks, a lot of things is going to happen now. So interesting. Now we are going to double click on this rectangle box here, the rectangle icon or command bar. When you double click on it, on your light, you just strike your mouse left click twice. This trick means that you have automatically draw the frame according to the size of any page that you inserted. When I click on A4, then I'll double click on this box now, it will give me A4 box, A4 size page rectangle, without me coming to draw it manually, without me coming to do it like this, to be zooming in, to be aligning it like this. I just needed to do what? Double click on the box for me to have the shape on the page. Are you seeing? So what I just did now is the manual way of having a box, but I don't need it that way, so I just need to double click on the box. It will automatically draw itself without me stressing myself. Alright, so I will save my work. Then the next thing there that we need to know is holding Control and Shift key while you are resizing some work. Alright, so this I will delete this. I want to put this back to A5, so I'll go to my page setup and I'll click A5. I want to reduce this to A5, this A4 size. So when I hold Control key, I can't actually drag in or drag out. But when I hold my Shift key and my mouse is inside, that means I am trying to reduce the image. But when I hold Shift key and my mouse is going outside, that means I am increasing the image. So as simple as this. But note, when you need a proportional shape, when you are trying to have a proportional shape to have all equal size the same, maybe you are on Eclipse 2, you want to draw a circle. Alright, to you might think that this is the normal round circle, but there is a difference. When you hold Control key and draw it, you can go to this dimension size now, and you'll notice that it is on 58.42 millimeter by 58.42 millimeter. But now let's check out this one I draw without holding the Control key. Holding this one now, the size is different. The vertical is not the same with the horizontal. So for you to have the same proportional to on the sizes, you have to hold Control key while dragging. Sizes, you have to hold Control key while dragging. Note, it's not Shift key. Shift key is for resizing, while the Control is for drawing. Let's assume I want to have a size or equal size on my rectangle shape right now. I'll click on rectangle and hold the Control key and I'll draw it. Whatever I'm drawing on this screen now is the same. You get it? So this side and this side are the same thing, to be compared to this side and this side. So a same size image on Coreldraw using your control key on the Eclipse tool and using your shift key and the same control key on your square shape. Alright, for you to zoom in or for you to drag in or decrease size, you hold shift key, it will decrease proportionally. For you to increase it, you hold shift key, it will increase proportionally. Right, so that's the difference between the control key and the shift key. Now the next tips we have to know right now is let me place this here in a minute. Alright, so we have done this now. I'll save my work. Now duplicating using letter R. Alright, so this is another wonderful tricks we need to learn. Okay, this is a line 2. For me to have a straight line on my Coreldraw, I'll hold control key. I'll first of all select the line 2. The shortcut key is F5. When I click it, I'll make sure I click the point I want to start drawing. So this is the point I want to start with. I'm not dragging. I will just softly click my control key on my keyboard and smoothly carry the mouse to the point that I want. I will click, and then this is where you change the size. Right, so you can change the size here, or you go to this place and say you double click this box, a dialog box will pop up saying this outline pen. Then I can change it to 8. I'll make sure it's on scale behind object and behind view, and I'll click OK. Now for me to complete this task, these tips I actually told you now. Okay, now so I have to duplicate this thing. I need it to be in a fun way. Okay, so it will, I will click once. When I click once, there's a box around it. But when I click it again, you notice that there's a arrow facing different direction. Okay, so I will click, my mouse will turn to a circle, semicircle arrow, and wherever point I want it to go, I will drag my mouse to that way. I want it to go in the right direction, and I will right click whenever I'm okay with the point it is. I have duplicated it. All I have to do now is Control R on my keyboard to duplicate it the way I want. As simple as this. This is how we manipulate and create image or shapes faster in Coreldraw. Aspect of this is another way of manipulating wonderful effects. I'll go to this option that say import or Control I, or I'll go on field and locate my import command, and I'll click import, and I'll go on my download folder, and I'll check for a image that I've worked on. Alright, I'll use this image, I'll double click and I'll drag it. When I drag it, I'll make sure I use the shape tool to remove all the unwanted part that is not part of the image, and I'll be careful so that I don't click out the main part of the image. Okay, so keeping it like this is okay by me, and I'll increase the image. I want to put this image in this Eclipse tool now, this shape. So I'll make sure I click this image. I can rotate it this way to face this way. Then I'll right click on the image. I'll locate my power clip command. My mouse has turned to an arrow now, so I'll click this object since I want it to be here. I won't place it on the box because I don't want it on the box. I want it on the circle. So I will click it and I will hold my control key and click the image to go inside. Just like me, I'm going inside the room to pick something. This man has become my insider. Alright, so or if I don't hold control key to click inside, I will just click my mouse here and I will see a command that says edit power clip, and select power clip content, extract content, and lock content to power clip. All of these things are the commands we are going to be using in the future on the courses, but for now let's work on the first one. And when I click on it, I'll hold my shift key to reduce proportionally inside the shape. I'll zoom my work in and I'll increase it, my video, subscribe to my channel, and allow notification. Thank you.